Hey everybody, this is Trish Jones and welcome to another episode of Speak to Trish. This is episode 26 and today I just want to bring you a scenario, right? It is Monday and so we are doing Message Monday or the Monday message, call it what you will. But let me just give you this scenario. Just imagine if you turn up at a seaside, and I'm presuming you have these in America as we do in the UK, and you have these telescopes, right? These huge telescopes, and you put your coin in and you can have a look through and you focus on whatever you want to look at, right? So it could be a boat that's way out to sea, or it could be something near, so you can focus on something far or near. And then, after your time is over, you kind of get the static kind of do you like those sound effects? Yeah. So you kind of get the noise, or do you get the noise? Anyway, I'm not sure whether it's the noise, but you certainly get the picture going black and all staticky, as it were. And then I come along, right, and I decide that I want to use the telescope after you, and I put my coin in, and whatever you were focused on for that entire time, or what the last thing that you focused on, that I decided that I was going to look at it. I wasn't going to change the focus. I wasn't going to change the scenery. And do you know what? I can't stand the fact that you're staring at the ice cream van, for example, that's on the beach. I want to see scenery, but I've just put my money in and I'm just looking, staring at this boring old ice cream van. There's nothing going on around it. And yet all around me, there is nothing but beauty that I could be focused on, but I'm focused on that one thing that somebody else set for me. Well, they didn't even set it for me. That's the interesting thing. But this is how life can be, right? This is how we can be in life. Somebody says something to us, or somebody creates an image in our mind, generally speaking, from the words that they've spoken into our lives. And even though we don't like it, we don't change the channel. And there is all of this beauty around us, and in fact people are telling us how fantastic we are at certain things, but we can't see that. All we can see is this image that somebody else has set for us, and we just will not move away. We have the opportunity of zooming out so we can see more. We have the opportunity of zooming in and moving the telescope, the focus, so that we look at something else. But that one thing that somebody said to us when we were 6 years old, 9 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old, whatever it may be, we have focused on that thing, and that is where our focus is fixed. And this goes for business as well as life, because I've often said, and I will keep saying, that most people do not fail in business because of the processes. They fail in business because there is a personal stumbling block that they have to overcome. Once they overcome that stumbling block, once they get clear on what they want, and once they know with heart what they want, people will just fly. The how-to will become so much easier, but it is taking action. Somebody said to me today, and I believe the quote was, I've forgotten who she said the quote was from now, but anyway, she said 90% of getting what we want in life is to take action. And sometimes we look at the big, massive action, the big, massive things that can be done, when it could be simple, small things. Something as simple as you've put your money in. Don't focus on what the last person was focusing on. You move the telescope so you can change the image. And sometimes you have to make a conscious effort of changing the image. I, for example, was told for many years that I was thick because I don't do maths, right? And I believed it, right? In fact, my daughter said to me the other day, well, Mummy, you're not very intelligent, are you? If you actually believed that they told you that you were thick. But because it was drummed down our throat that maths and English were the most important things when we were growing up, if you were no good at maths, and I wasn't, I was very good at English, but I was no good at maths, then I was kind of regarded as being in the lower segment of society, and I wasn't really going to go places because I needed to have both, not just English, but I needed maths as well. And it took me many years before I took my focus of that person saying what they said to me and realizing, oh my gosh, Trish, you've got skills. Trish, there are certain things that you're very, very good at. And actually started to delve until I eventually went and did my MBA. Yes, so I have a master's degree for somebody that is very thick, and an element of it included maths. But guess what? I mastered it. Well, I didn't master it, no. And I have no intentions of mastering maths, right? The fact that this video could go viral all around the world, I'll tell anybody, I am no good at maths. Past my fingers and my toes, I'm kind of doomed, right? But quite frankly, I don't care because I don't need it for what I am doing now. But I went on anyway to do a master's degree, and in that realized my leadership skills, or actually I realized my leadership skills beforehand, but realized more of the leadership skills that I had, realized my communication skills, realized as well my writing ability, right? And in fact, it's one of the reasons why I will not ever go back and do a PhD, despite the fact that so many people have said, Trish, why don't you go and do a PhD? I'm happy not being Dr. Patricia Jones, right? I'm really happy not being the doctor. And it's because I felt that my writing was being, the creative part of my writing, I should say, was being stifled into, you will write this way because this is how we write as academics. And that's one of the reasons I will not go personally and further my studies. If somebody wants to give me an honorary doctorate, I can't even say it properly. If they want to give me an honorary doctorate, cool, I'm still struggling, then I'll be happy. But otherwise, I am not going to study to be a doctor of anything because it took away my writing ability. But I saw those abilities, I shifted my focus, and I keep shifting my focus and moving away from those things that I am not naturally good at to those things that I am good at. Because guess what? Your influence is where your strengths lie. If you don't have strength in a certain area and you try to have influence in that area, you're going to fall flat on your face. But without the maths, without the English, if you're not very good at English, you know, even if English isn't your first language, right? Because I come across this a lot. People getting worried that English isn't their first language. Let me tell you, there are plenty of successful people who English for them is not their first language, and yet they have made millions. Don't let that get in your way. Find what it is that you are good at, and when you find what it is that you are good at and you find that place, you will find your place of influence and you will have followers. Does that make sense? Because your voice carries to a certain group of people who want to hear you, complete with the flavor of your heritage, whether you're from the Caribbean, whether you have the American accent, because you know us American and English, right? We kind of take things for granted sometimes. It's like everybody loves us because, you know, we're Brits or we're American, but, you know, sometimes we're not welcome in certain places, right? So some people, we have the dialect, not them. So whatever your flavor is, whether it's a French flavor, you've got a bit of Italian, whether you're from Poland, whatever your flavor is, go out there with who you are and present that person to the world, complete with your own voice, because that is who people want to hear from. Take the focus off what isn't perfectly right. Focus it on what you are good at. Don't look at what everybody else has been pointing at, saying you've got to look at this image because this was the image I looked at. Tell them thank you very much, but no thank you. It is time to change your channel. It is time to move the slide. It is time to change the image. I hope you get that message. I hope you receive it with heart. I hope you go out with passion and live your passion. Speak with passion. Be passionate about what it is you love. And I'm telling you, you will attract those people who you are supposed to serve, who is supposed to hear your message, who is not bothered about whether you're fantastic or maths, who is not bothered about whether you have an accent, you speak with an accent. So go do your thing. I love you all. I so want to see people speak from their heart with their own voice, being 100% who they are. So if I get passionate about this subject, you understand why. Be you and go do your thing. I will see you on the next episode of Speak to Trish. Ciao for now.